Onstage, onstage with Jim and Tom. 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 Tom and Jim.
Tonight we welcome Kepi Ghoulie to the stage of the Phoenix Theater for a very special edition of Onstage with Jim and Tom. Kepi has been sharing his art with the public for over 30 years. Whether punk rock with the Groovy Ghoulies, Americana with the Haints, whimsical illustrations, his extensive solo performance catalog, this is a person with an incredible body of work. Tonight we'll learn about his history, his outlook, and later he'll play some of his music. Please welcome to the program, Kepi Ghoulie.
Kepi Ghoulie. Excellent.
Me. I'm on stage with Jim and Tom.
What a guy.
Where should we start but this very building, the Phoenix Theater in Petaluma, California? Before we started, you said that there's 3 very significant moments that you've had in this building, and I'd love to start there.
Yeah, let's start here. In high school, 1981, I drove from Roseville, California to see the Ramones in this theater.
Yeah.
It was my first time seeing the Ramones, and it was a game changer.
A pivotal moment in your creative life,
Absolutely.
I'm assuming.
Yeah. The Ramones was a game changer. It was funny.
81. That was the first of 3 for the Ramones here.
The Groovy Ghoulies is the project that you were in from the early 80s until around 2007, I think.
Yeah.
And would you say that band was influenced majorly by a
The
band like
Ramones
the
was
Ramones?
pretty much the kind of the Beatles to a lot of punk rockers, because it was a 2 2.25 minute song, verse, chorus, out, and it was the tradition of Chuck Berry and Little Richard kind of
Oh, yes.
electrified and amplified more.
So that project, the Groovy Ghoulies, which went for over 20 years. That started in 1983. So the Phoenix, though, back to the Phoenix. So you had the Ramones, the first time you saw them, that was a crazy experience.
81, yep.
Yeah.
Ghoulie started in 84, but the second to the last Groovy Ghoulie show was here with the Epoxies and Phenomenauts.
Gee, and that was great. The Epoxies were smoking as well that night. That was a great show.
And the Phenomenauts used to pack this place constantly.
Always.
And
Love those guys.
But still, and 2 Phenomenauts and an Epoxy are on my new record. So, you stay friends, and that's the best. That's the best thing.
You choose your musician friends well.
Thanks, yeah. Because friends first.
Yeah.
And they just happen to be amazing.
So when you were telling me about the Phoenix memories, you also told me a kind of a drop of one of your philosophies, which is like what people spend their time doing is like their art. You were talking about how people at the post office, people at the grocery store, like what they do, that in their own way. And I'm curious because you are like a bona fide artist.
Yeah.
Like
well, we all are.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend in Sacramento that's a hairstylist, and to me, she's like the Van Gogh of hairstylists. I mean, people go to her and their hair comes out purple and green and it's perfectly cut and it's a work of art. It's a sculpture, basically, is what she does.
So for you, the club of artists is not an exclusive one. Anyone can and is an artist, in your opinion.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who are they have a higher threshold, Some people are maybe a little more selective or snobby, maybe, about using that word artist. But for you, anybody can be, and everyone should be.
Yeah, and it is like a mom or a nurse or a doctor or anything. And it's funny. And there is like this, people want to feel exclusive. I think maybe that's affected. I don't know if that's affected my level of success or not. But it's like, and the Ramones are like punk rock kind of taught you anyone can do anything and you can, do a thing or whatever. So, yeah, I want to include everybody. I don't want, like the, people lined up or, knock twice to get into the after party or whatever. Of course, sometimes you want to be with your friends or a couple, but life in general, shouldn't be exclusive for these people and not these people, And the thing is, if those guys have some crazy club going on, build your own club. You know what I mean? And it's going to be more fun because you're not going to be being judged or whatever. Like, judgment is a terrible thing. I mean, judgment is a gift. That this is a thing I've learned, that I see that behavior and I judge whether or not to follow it. That's what judgment is for, not like, ooh, you're wearing purple, it's Green Day or whatever, Well,
I mean, you are known, I think, by your friends and the people who love your music as an extremely positive individual. So it seems you are. I mean, would you not say? I don't. You've read some reviews, I'm sure. Of your stuff and all that.
I know. He's so nice. And like some people, like I have a friend. Like I have a friend who's a school teacher. I hate the word nice. Teachers are nice. I'm like, I hate I hate that people don't like nice. There's nothing wrong with nice. Everybody should be nice. You know, I mean, it's crazy in our society that like cool people are rebels or whatever. You know, I've discovered that a lot of cool people are just people who are afraid to do things. So they stand in the corner and they act cool, you know. But a lot of times it's like fear of what people will think or, you know, all this stuff. It's like
Fear of judgment.
fear of judgment. And so you're cool, but you're not really cool. You're maybe afraid of what people think.
Did it take time for you to get to that
Absolutely.
point? Okay.
20 years.
Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, you know, your life is a work of art. You figure things out.
Yeah.
You know, like why in high school did I worry about what that guy thought or whatever? And then you go like, who cares? You know, and it's like, and again, it gets to the point where if you're ever worrying about what someone thinks, you know, then maybe think again. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a good way to live. I've figured out. I'm happy. So it works for me.
Some people seem to be like blessed with the having it all figured out at a young age, and some people it's a long road.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
Yeah, I've been around. You know, I've been playing rock and roll over 30 years. And even, you know, I judge behaviors. I've been laying low because I don't like some of the things that happen in rock and roll with, you know, people doing drugs that should be old enough to know better and people treating other people not so cool, you know. And you just like break time, you know.
I feel like in the rock and roll business, you kind of have to be thoughtful about trying to be nice and not being judgmental because it can kind of just seep in. It is sometimes a very image heavy world. It is sometimes a very judgment heavy world. Yeah. So you got to really like know what your foundation is. You really got to steady yourself in order not to fall prey to maybe, you know, easy sort of behavioral patterns that everybody else can seem to be doing.
Yeah, that's definitely like partying gets you places, you know, and the schmooze and, you know, ambition, you know, and I lack a lot of those things. I definitely, you know, ambition is, you know, not my main thing. And you can get far on ambition, but I'd rather go slow and have organic friends that last a lifetime.
You know, but I think writing songs is a piece of ambition. To be able to get up and do that, you've got to have an ambition that leads you towards that, and you do a great job of that.
Thanks. Yeah, that's a funny thing in this business. You know, people like, oh, you know, you pretend like you don't care if people hear your music. You wouldn't make records if you didn't want people to buy them. Period. Of course, I would enjoy people to buy my art, and my which is my music, is my art.
Because you do have ambition, or rather, you at least have something inside of you that causes you almost year after year to put out a new album.
Yeah.
But maybe would you say it's less ambition and more just you have so much coming out of you that you want to get down and put out, or is it a struggle to keep up that body of work?
It's all of those things. You know, it's part of it, you know, for years was just like, hey, make a record and tour, then I don't have to go to work, you know. So it's like part of it's just to like not be out there doing that thing, you know.
Well, that's ambitious.
It is ambitious. It's it's dog paddling, you know. Got to make a new record because you do want to be like, I want to be a songwriter, you know, and I you know, and simplicity, I think gets kind of overlooked, you know. But to me, Chuck Berry and Little Richard and Jonathan Richman and the Ramones, there's a beauty in simplicity. There's a message in a lot of songs. It just kind of maybe gets looked over because it looks fluffy or simple. But the, you know, actually the whole universe can be broken down into two words: be kind. That's the only thing you need to know to live on this planet. So then you have to come up with different themes and ways to say be kind.
And you find that that's a theme in a lot of your music?
It's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
I feel like we try too hard, and we can figure it out if we really want to. People don't want to figure it out. People want drama. People want to be in chaos. I think they find it thrilling, or they get addicted to it,
you know?
or they
That's
give
a great
them
way to hide too.
Yeah. You don't have to face your past or the things that you know. And it is funny, but yeah, we do. Oh, what did I do when I was a kid? Well, whatever you did, you're forgiven. You know, on with the show. You know, that's how I think, you know, but people don't want to think like that, or they feel like they can't. But yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're constantly creating new villains to fight against, then you never really have to look inward at maybe your role in things.
Yeah.
It's a high to constantly be castigating and pointing fingers, and it's also a nice escape from having to like look in the mirror, which can be kind of a spooky thing depending on what's in that mirror.
Yeah.
And I think it's spooky for all of us at a certain point in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I don't want to say I figured it out, but I'm on the path of trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Which brings me to my new record, which is like a completely happy record. You know, there is no villain, other than survival or choosing a path, and we talk about like AJJ. There's a band that, they have all kinds of things going on.
Used to be Andrew Jackson Jihad.
Yeah.
Now AJJ.
But they, Sean will drop a funny little truth bomb, like, of course, it's not a competition, it's a cooperation. And then you study the law of attraction, and there's like, there's room for everybody to do their thing. And then you realize that, and it's like, bands don't have to compete, or, bands think they have to compete, but they don't.
Well, and to add to that, I think that there's this perception that there's a finite amount of success out there for everybody, and if you get it, then that means I'm not going to get it, and then that causes rivalry, and that causes competition, and resentment, especially.
Yeah.
You're not as good as I am. You don't work as hard as I am, but you've gotten farther, so I don't like you.
Yeah.
And he sucks, by the way. And she's bad at doing music. She's not as good as we are.
Yeah.
You see that a lot because this music is so personal.
Yeah.
And success is so personal, and a lot of time we find our validation maybe in how much our stuff is consumed, right? And if other people are doing better than us, sometimes if we're not careful, we can start to be like, fuck that person.
Yeah.
But the reality is it's not a finite amount of success.
Right. And it's not record sales, because you can always go find a boy band or a pop band that's just making fluff, or what you perceive as fluff, that's sold like 13 million records. So where does consumption become an actual
approval?
A landmark or a margin of success, or you have your Kurt Cobains and your Dee Dee Ramones, who are maybe successful but are demonized their entire existence. What is the point of that?
Has your benchmark for success changed over time?
Yeah, this is my benchmark for success: hanging out with friends, talking about art.
Yeah.
I'm a millionaire. Yeah. And that's funny. I go to this little town in Arizona, and the guy that founded this town, I always go visit his grave, but his tombstone says, "Rich in friends, poor in purse." And that's pretty much
great line.
Yeah, that's like, I'll have that on my tombstone too. That's success.
Did you know that individual, or you just
it's the town of Warren, and the guy's name was like George Warren or something, and he was the guy that founded this town. But there it is, and it's a good. You find these, and how did I end up at this grave in Arizona? You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about life, is the little magic when you let the magic happen.
And then we can go deep into it, or we can not at all. But would you say that a sense of spirituality has guided you as you've gotten older?
Yeah. You start trying to figure it out. And that's a funny thing. As a punk rocker, I've been punk rocking since Ronald Reagan. And then, how could things ever get worse? And then here's George Bush. How could things ever get worse? And here we are. And what's going on? Why do we not want to be happy? Why do we not want to figure it out? Why do we not want to, and it's not all our fault. It's like, if the parents, the government is like our parents, or I don't know, but people just, and they keep us busy, and they keep us confused, and they keep us fighting about our gender and our race and this and that, so that we don't take time to be like, hey, we're all the same, Yeah.
So far, we've talked about like how the strides you've made in the last 30 years. How old are you now?
52.
52.
Yeah.
You've learned a lot.
Yeah.
And especially when a person's an artist, someone who sits down and really tries to channel their feelings into something that they can share with others. That lens is useful for introspection, and is useful for like processing sometimes the horrors of life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm curious, like, here we are, 52. What has brought you a greater sense of peace in terms of like how you view the world, or your spirituality and all of that?
It's the journey, right? But there's a funny thing, like, okay, we'll connect some dots. Everything connects.
Yeah.
But like, honestly, the guy that used to draw the Kepi Ghoulie record covers, S. Britt, he did all the stuff when we were on Lookout. He did like 4 records in a row. And he always read this Vietnamese Buddhist, Thich Nhat Hanh. And he'd read this, and I never read it, And then like I went through a divorce. And then the week of this divorce, I'm in the library, and here's this book by Thich Nhat Hanh looking at me, like the spirit of Buddha's teaching or whatever, And I grab it, and there's all the answers, It's just crazy. And these things they come around exactly when you need them.
Yeah.
And there it is. And, and through that book, like, I totally learned gratitude, and that total evolution. Just give thanks. I give thanks every day that my parts work. that, not everybody's parts work, and I'm healthy, I'm happy, and he says, when you go to bed, send love to not just your family, but your enemies, or your, the people that need it more, and when you wake up, send love to the world and to the people who need it the most, so, and then you read later, discover Saint Germain, and he's like, send love to Washington, just positive energy that they might find their way and whatever, it's funny stuff, but it all works.
It works.
Yeah.
And it's a struggle sometimes to convince yourself to do that, but then you have kind of harrowing life experiences, and then something clicks. And that's the crazy thing, I think, about getting older.
Yeah, but it's not, that time was a rough time, but since then, I don't find things harrowing. That's the thing that I think in America, we love drama. You know what I mean? Like we're capable right now, like today, we're capable of like, this system's all messed up. Let's maybe not shop at these giant corporations. Let's maybe not fight with each other over petty things. Let's maybe try to think that we're all the same. But we don't want to do that. Like people were like, let's wait for him to like blow. He's got the nuclear button. He's got the, we in America, we want everything to be like a Bruce Willis movie or something. We don't want to like just figure it out because that's boring.
Or at least a reality show.
Yeah. But we want everything to like hit rock bottom, and then we have to crawl out of Mad Max land through the lava in solar powered Jeeps to survive. Like people think they want this big kaboom before we can heal. Yeah. But we can heal today, but it's just not as exciting. I think it's pretty exciting.
It would be easier if we could just heal without destroying everything.
Yeah. And that's the thing that all the hippies, we all hope for, the global awakening, that we all one day go, oh, we don't need this guy or that guy. Oh, we can do this ourselves.
Danny Secretion of the band The Secretions once said of you, "There is no such thing as a stay-at-home Kepi. He is the Energizer Bunny of do-it-yourself punk. He just never lets up." And I mean, my God, 2011, you put out the album I Bleed Rock and Roll, which got 4 stars in the Italian edition of Rolling Stone magazine. Yeah. In 2012, you put out Kepi for Kids, which was a different thing, kids music. 2014, Kepi Goes Country. Yep. 2015, Fun in the Dark with Kepi Ghoulie and the Accelerators, which was you and some other people.
That was the Dutch band.
Yeah, the Dutch band.
Yeah.
And then, of course, 2017, which we'll talk about a little later on, is the band or the album Lost and Loving It. So it pours out of you, it seems.
Yeah, but I'm happy with what I've done, and I'm happy with where I'm going. And that's what we were talking about. The tribute record thing was, for 10 years, people said they were going to put out a tribute record, and it never happened. And then the year that the Ghoulies broke up, 2 tribute records came out, But there's all this chaos going on, so you didn't have time to sit and And then just recently, I came across those. I'm like, oh, I have 2 tribute records. That's pretty good, Yeah. So that. It's not all. I try to not be ego, but it's satisfying to go, oh, you did do something with your life,
Do you have those sort of existential moments less, where you worry that you've done something with your life as you've gotten older, or is it pretty consistent throughout your artistic career? Highs and lows.
When you're younger, definitely, in the Groovy Ghoulies, even when you're a kid, you're a kid, right? And I honestly have been rocking my whole life. And when you're a kid, you want to be the Rolling Stones playing the stadium, and then later on you're the Ghoulies, and then you're like, well, I kind of like Motorhead and the Cramps. That's a good size, these theaters, right? That's cool. And now it's really Jonathan Richman, if I can make 100 people happy, I win. Yeah. But where the cards fall, it's management, record labels, people pushing for you. It's nice to have that.
Did the Groovy Ghoulies ever run up against that? That was a band for a long time that had some highs, right? I mean, that was a project that you're most well known for, I would say, just by the broader public.
Yeah.
Did you ever have moments where your art was constricted by outside forces, or where people were trying to push you in a direction that you didn't really want to go in?
Never.
And
that was the thing I loved about Lookout Records. Lookout Records, it was funny. Right when we signed to Lookout Records, I think, because it was the Green Day wave had broken.
Yeah.
And we were the waves were still settling, but, and the people, the Queers and Screeching Weasel and Mr. T they rode the wave a little higher. We got the foam, but, a guy from Polygram Records came to a show, and he's like, I want to talk to you. And I'm like, I'm on Lookout Records. He's like, you don't want to talk to me? I'm like, I'm on the best record label in the world. What do I have to lose? And then little do you know, But I mean, the thing I've learned that I love is when, you don't know this when you're a kid, if you make a record for a major label, they own the master tape. And they could say, go away, and they own your work. And before Lookout Records crashed, I negotiated to get my master tapes back. So out of 20-something records, every song I've ever recorded, I only don't own 2 songs out of 20 albums.
Which is incredibly satisfying.
Yeah.
Even if you never did anything with those, just to know that you could.
Yes, I own my art, and it won't end up in a Warner Brother picture because Warner Brothers will probably put a Warner Brothers artist on their soundtrack and these things. I'm not saying never, but that's the tendencies. But the satisfaction of being in control of your catalog is a wonderful thing. Yeah. And that's what makes me happy. Just I own my art, and that's pretty cool.
Because that band put out 9 full-length CDs, 5 EPs, 13 singles, 5 split singles. Also an incredible body of work, that band.
Yes.
But we never had this huge success. We did okay, and we always did okay, but we never played giant festivals. Big bands never took us on tour. We had, I can, on one hand, I can tell you the bands that took care of us. It was like 7 Seconds, The Queers, Voodoo Glow Skulls, The Muffs, Chicks Dig It.
Was that a band that had a message, or was it just making music that sounded fun?
No, the thing that there's always a message, and fun can be a message.
Yeah.
The universe, the universe, when you study the hippie stuff, the universe wants us to be full of joy. That is the purpose of our existence. Are we full of joy? No, we're like 99% off target,
You say if you study the hippie stuff, the universe wants us to feel joy. It doesn't feel like that a lot of the time. Why do you believe that the universe wants us to feel joy, or why do the hippies believe that?
Well, I always say hippie because
you're being a little tongue in cheek.
If you say that you're spiritual, then people think Jesus, and then they think Western religion, and then they turn off the faucet.
Yeah.
No way, dude! Don't preach Jesus to me.
Yeah.
Jesus was one of many ascended masters who reached enlightenment, and it's all the same story. And, love.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah, and I only ask because I think most people feel the opposite. I think most people feel the universe is out to get them, and they have to punch through in order to even feel happiness. So it's interesting to hear you make that point, which is, no, the universe wants you to be happy.
And it's true. I'll stand by it. I'll debate anybody. If they want to debate joy, we're intended to be happy. We are intended to be happy. We mess it up by wanting boats and cars and video games and drugs and parties and sex and love and validation from our peers who don't make great choices.
So you talk about the Ghoulies and kind of like what their vibe was, and you talk about your vibe now, and it's very similar. And not going deep into it, but you did mention that you had the divorce, which led to the end of the Ghoulies because, of course, you were in that band with your wife.
Yeah.
And, of course, stuff happens, and now it's time for things to change.
Yeah.
Did you struggle to maintain the positivity coming out of that experience?
Yeah, I think anyone has to. It's not something there's no choice really.
Yeah.
You trudge through the swamp and you come out the other side, and but I feel lucky, and I honestly feel like I learned a lot, and hopefully I'm a better person for it, and everybody is okay,
Lost and Loving It.
Yes.
2017 release. Someone named Tim Sendra wrote of this album, Kepi has filled it with the open-hearted philosophy that makes him such a beloved figure to his fans. And here we are.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Thank you. Yeah, and that,
I mean, that open-hearted philosophy is like what we've been talking about this whole night, and this album is, an artistic manifestation of that, I would say.
It's okay to be nice. And that's the thing. That's the title is like, we don't know. We don't know where we're going. And so we might as well celebrate it because we don't have a choice. No. So do we fight it, or do we get in a boat and let the storm toss us around and see what beach we land on? And that's really that thing. And there's 2 Lost and Loving It songs, which is fun. And then it started with the Anchor song. it started getting this nautical feel. So then you get latitude 38, which is San Francisco, latitude 58, which is Seattle.
The nautical themes are present throughout.
Yes.
White whale.
Was that organic or was that
Completely.
a conscious decision?
Completely. No. I mean, there's songs on there that aren't, but there's enough that are that tie it together. But White Whale is funny too because just like Rock and Roll Shark, like I'm playing with a buddy. I was like in Minneapolis and we were going to the store or whatever, and he's like, talking about some artist. He's like, we all have our white whale to chase, and I'm like, we all have our white whale to chase. He's like, yeah, Moby Dick. You're a white whale. That's the thing. And I never knew that. I haven't read Moby Dick. But yeah, so the white whale is, your demon or your goal or whatever. And we all have a white whale, our thing.
We talk about this new album and you say white whale and it's the thing that drives you.
Yeah.
You do so much. You put out so much work. I could ask you, like, what's next? And I'm sure you'd say, well, just finished recording this album and then I've got this thing in mind. But I mean, just like zooming out, less about like the next album or the next tour. Are you satisfied with the trajectory post Ghoulies? Yeah. And do you desire for anything different, or do you want to keep doing what you've been doing?
I'm happy. Like, and the thing, one of these things you live every day as if it was your last, not in a sad, dark way, but just like, don't waste time. I waste plenty of time, but I also, set little goals, like today I, ordered some new t-shirts and did this and that for my next two, but, I'm happy. Like if it ended today, I'm like, oh, I had a good run, and then, but you always have three, I could tell you the 3 records I want to work on. I want to get the Kepi Ghoulie stuff reissued, and I can't do it fast enough, but I'm working on it. And Tom Neely's putting new artwork on all the records, and we're remastering them, and they're great, but I just can't do it fast enough. Record pressing takes 6 months, and I'm not the most organized.
I mean, you mentioned a couple times during this that, like, maybe in darker moments, the thought comes to you, like, have I wasted my time? What have I done? I mean, the fact that, like, the creative fire still burns inside you is very remarkable. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff that could extinguish that in this world. And the fact that you have been able to foster that and continue to do it deserves a lot of credit, in my opinion. Yeah,
thanks. And that's gratitude. That is the art of gratitude. Like, I give thanks that I've already made 20 records. I'd give even more thanks if I could make 20 more, and I probably intend to. I don't, it may not be records, it may be, or whatever, I want to do acoustic things, and but I'm not done with rock and roll. But when you make a solo record or a piece of art, you don't have to answer to anyone. And it's not in a snobby way. You don't have to, like, arrange a practice and book a studio, If I wanted to get a band together today, I have to find a place where we can practice and then make sure these 2 guys don't have to work, and then, getting across town and traffic and gas. I don't care about any of that, but it is an effort.
No, you have freedom to express what you're feeling.
Instant freedom, which is freedom. Yeah. And I think one of the purposes of my existence this round is patience, and I'm not a very patient person. Like, I got to do the.
So one of the purposes then is to work on that.
Yeah.
To try to.
Yeah, I think I'm being taught that somehow, but I don't have time to figure it out.
Yeah. Well, I just. I don't know, Tom, if you have any closing thoughts on this whole thing, or Kepi, if you at this moment in 2017, if there's anything that we haven't talked about. But, I just think you are a remarkable individual.
Yeah, I do too.
And
thanks. Well, you guys too. Thanks for having me. I mean, we all are. It sounds all cheesy, but everybody has a purpose. We all have a thing to figure out or whatever. I'm just working on mine, and I'm grateful for it. And, thanks.
So thank you for just spending so much time of your life sharing art with people.
Yeah,
truly.
Thanks. Yeah, and you can do it too. I mean, like, that's the thing that the Ramones or someone teaches you is, like, you can do it too. Find your thing and do it. And that's kind of why I'm here. Because I don't have this remarkable, like you guitar players, like Neil Young or Jay Mascis or these, I would love that, but I'm totally not patient enough to practice. Tonight's performance was practice for the Aquabats tour, to be completely honest.
Which starts next month. But wouldn't you say, though, that you're able to do that because you What did somebody tell you that you were good enough to do it, or has it just been something inside of you?
Yeah, and that's funny because these are the things that like the lightning bolt just hit me. And I took guitar lessons when I was like in high school or whatever. I had a guitar. I went to these lessons, and this guy showed me the 7 open chords, G, C, D, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And the same ones I played tonight for you.
Absolutely.
And after about 6 or 7 lessons, I wasn't more than like 2 months. He's like, that's all you need. He's like, you have everything you need to play a barbecue. You're good to go. If you want to learn to play solos and stuff, go take lessons somewhere else. And my guitar teacher dismissed me.
Perfect.
He sent me out into the world with that.
Yeah.
And that is my gift.
He was right.
Yeah, it's funny. And I've taken 2 guitar lessons over the last 20 years. And maybe I take a guitar lesson and then you beep, boop, boop, boop. Oh, look at this. It's on TV.
I think that's a very good bookending point. For what we did tonight. No, truly.
Yeah.
You talked in the beginning about how everybody can be an artist. Because if you didn't have that thing with that guitar teacher, who knows where your creative path would have taken
I know.
you.
I might not. I'm played rock and roll because everybody in school was playing Led Zeppelin and Judas Priest and all these 2 guitar little
and having to take the extra lessons.
Yeah, and we had the Ramones go, here's all you need, and
7 chords.
Yeah,
That's
3. The Ramones didn't even use
chords.
4 of them.
Yeah. You need to remember 1, 4, 5, and 3 chords, and you're in the game.
Yeah.
Well,
there we go.
I mean, what can I say except Kepi Ghoulie, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Everyone
thank
should
you.
get ready because in just a moment, a selection of songs by this very individual will be happening. Kepi Ghoulie, thank you again.
Thank you for listening and interviewing and filming and being here. Want me to read your fortune? 'Cause I can, well I can. And I can put it in a language that you can understand. It's no problem, just give me your hand. Pay close attention, it's all part of the plan. Well, you're rich enough, and you're famous enough, you got all the tools you need to survive. You're rich enough, and you're famous enough, you got love, and you're alive. Yeah. Well, do you want me to read your fortune? 'Cause I can, well I can. And I can put it in a language that you can understand. And it's no problem, just give me your hand. Pay close attention, it's all part of the plan. Well, you're rich enough, and you're famous enough, you got all the tools you need to survive. Well, you're rich enough, and you're famous enough, you got love, and you're alive. Yeah! Heroes are weirdos, what's to be expected? Alternative forms of thought are often slow to be accepted. Fear not, children, carry on with what you do. Knowledge is its own reward. You can and must break through. When your heroes are weirdos, naysay is often what you'll get. Don't worry, children, don't dwell on it, don't get upset. Cheer up, children, you are the very best. You can and we'll pass the test. When your heroes are weirdos, you can end up in odd positions at the awkward receiving end of the strangest inquisitions. Chin up, children, take comfort in what you know. Stand firm, grab, plow, and sow. Chin up, children, take comfort in what you know. Stand firm, grab, plow, and sow. Yeah. You go chase your white whale, and I'll be on the beach. You go risk your life for thrills, all my goals are reached. I'll meet you here again, I'll meet you here, my friend, yeah, yeah. I'll meet you here again, I'll meet you here, my friend, yeah, yeah. You go chase your bounty, you stay on the run. You go sail into the storm, and I'll just catch some sun. Good luck to you, my friend, I'll meet you here again, yeah, yeah. Good luck to you, my friend, I'll meet you here again, yeah, yeah. What you have to, and I'll do what I must. And though we go our separate ways, well, let's just always trust that we'll meet here again, and we'll always be friends, yeah, yeah. We'll meet here again, and we'll always be friends, yeah, yeah. Sometimes things try to bring me down, sometimes things try to knock me around, but it's a wonderful life, it's a wonderful life. Sometimes things try to get in my way, sometimes things try to ruin our day, but it's a wonderful life, it's a wonderful life. For the most part, when I look in your heart, it's a wonderful life. Sometimes things try to beat us around, sometimes things try to knock me down, but it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. Sometimes I don't have too much to spend. Sometimes I'm down to a single friend, but it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. For the most part, when I look in your heart, it's a wonderful life. People try and hurt us. People, they desert us, but it's okay. We'll make it anyway. People, they say mean things. Well, I'm not sure if they mean it. If they do, it's okay. We'll make it any old way. We can go live out into the desert, and we can just do whatever we want, 'cause it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. We can sit and stare at the moon, and I can play you a simple tune, 'cause it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. For the most part, when I look in your heart, it's a wonderful life. Yeah! One day I won't be here no more, but I'll see you on the other shore, 'cause it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. There's one more thing to tell you, my friend. This here love will never end, 'cause it's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful life. The entire part, it radiates from the core of your heart, yeah! Entire part, it rains from the core of your beautiful heart, yeah.